Hello, it's Alex, the Bookubus. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my watch list for Old School April, which I'm sure you've heard about by now, but in case you haven't, I will leave all of the relevant links and details below. It is a month-long readathon, watchathon, activity-a-thon, all about nostalgia and everything old school taking place during the month of April. It is created by Kelsi at Slime and Slashers, and there are a bunch of other co-hosts as well as myself, so I will leave everyone linked below, and I highly recommend you go check them out if you aren't already following their channels. So over the past month or so I've been putting together a watch list of films and TV shows that I am wanting to watch during the month of April, and I had like lots and then I tried to narrow it down, but instead I added more. I'm not sure what happened. So at this point I have over 30 films on the watch list. I don't expect to get to them all. I'm definitely not going to, but some of them are ones that I would like to prioritize, and then other ones I'm just gonna kind of wing it and see which ones I get to during the month. And none of these are picked with specific prompts in mind. I know they're going to fit some prompts just because most of these are from the 80s and 90s, but I'm sure they will fit other prompts as well. So again, I'm just kind of winging it, and I'm not going to go too in depth on each film because, yeah, with so many to talk about, we'll be here all day. So I'll try to keep it brief, and I'll start off with films, then I'll talk about the TV shows. And I'll start off with the films I want to watch that are some of the host recs. So first up are my host recs. I have seen these before, but I really want to rewatch them, and I am hoping to do watch parties for both of these. Whether I can make that happen or not, I don't know. So wish me luck on that, but they are The Hidden and The Slumber Party Massacre 2, both from 1987. They're both super fun in their own special ways, and I highly recommend you watch them. And the other host recs that I would like to see are The Flight of Dragons from 1982. This is one of Elizabeth's picks. It's an animated one and it's about dragons. I've never seen it before, but I was obsessed with dragons as a kid, so I think this one will be really fun. We have The Great Mouse Detective, which is one of Coral's picks, another animated one that I haven't seen but really would like to. And one of Kelsi's picks is Willow, which I have seen before, but back in the day. So it has been many years since I've seen it, but I remember really enjoying it, and yeah, gonna have to rewatch that. One of Christine's recs is Drop Dead Fred, which I have seen before, but again, back in the day, so it's been a really long time. And yeah, I really just need to rewatch this to confirm it wasn't just some kind of fever dream. And last up is one of Amy's recs, which is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which I have seen before, but not for many years. So yeah, this will be a fun one to revisit. There are lots of other really great host recs, so maybe I will get a chance to watch some of those as well. But these are the ones that I was like specifically really wanting to prioritize. Okay, so moving on to the rest of my film watch list, and these ones are all films I have seen before, but will be hopefully getting a chance to rewatch at some point. We have Razorblade Smile from 1998. This is a vampire film that I saw once when it came out. I rented it on video. I thought I was the coolest person alive, and while I don't remember this being necessarily a good film, it is a 90s vampire film, so why would I not want to rewatch that, honestly? Very much looking forward to checking that one out again. The Crow from 1994, I saw this a million times back in the 90s, but I haven't seen it anytime recently, so I really do want to revisit this. We even have a couple of rom-coms on here. I know, who am I? We've got Romancing the Stone from 1984 and Overboard from 1987. These are ones that I saw growing up and have seen a couple of times over the years, and they're just really fun, and yeah, I figured it was a good time to put these on the list and hopefully get a chance to rewatch them. The Convent from 2000. This is one I also remember renting on video. Can't guarantee it was actually any good, but I remember it being somewhat entertaining, and I think Coolio was in it, so what's not to love? Sugar and Spice from 2001. Kind of a chick flick comedy thing from what I remember, but yeah, I should revisit it to refresh my memory. Flight of the Navigator from 1986. I loved this film as a kid, definitely had a crush on the boy in it, of course, and yeah, haven't seen this for many years though, so I'd really like to rewatch it. And last up for the rewatchers is Wayne's World from 1992. I mean, say no more, it's a classic, but yeah, I haven't seen this in years either. The rest of the films on the list are ones I have not seen before, and yeah, I'm not going to get to them all, but hopefully I'll get to some of them. And some of these were actually on my watch list for last year, and I haven't yet got to them, so maybe we'll knock them out this time around. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome from 1985. I've seen the first two Mad Max films and they're great, but for some reason I've never seen Beyond Thunderdome, even though I've heard "We don't need another hero" a million times. I've never seen the film though, so I really need to rectify that. Chud from 1984. Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. What else do you need to know? I need to see that film. I don't know why I've never seen it before. Hard Rock Zombies from 1985 and Slaughterhouse Rock from 1988. I think they would make a great double bill because they're both horror rock movies. Like, yeah, they definitely seem like my cup of tea. Deadly Manor from 1990. Don't even remember what it's about. It's definitely a horror film. It might be a slasher. I don't remember, but hopefully it'll be fun. Freaked from 1993. Yeah, this seems like a wacky one, a bit of a kind of cult classic that I haven't seen before, so that should be fun. The Wax Mask from 1996. Italian horror. Say no more. Body Snatchers from 1993, a remake by Abel Ferrara. And I don't think I've seen this, but I definitely remember the cover, like seeing the cover on the videotape in the rental place, and it used to creep me out, but I'm not sure I actually ever saw it, so I really feel like I should rectify that. Enemy Territory from 1987, starring "Bustin' Makes Me Feel Good," Ray Parker Jr. himself. Like, what? I didn't even know about this film until recently. I was watching like an Under Siege film called, I'm blanking on it, so I'm going to put it on the screen here, that was really good, and someone on Instagram messaged me about Enemy Territory, and it's another like siege film, so figured I would give that a go. Robo War from 1988, Italian action film like RoboCop / Predator ripoff. I mean, yeah, I am in. Night Killer from 1990, another horror film. I don't know what it's about, I don't even care, just I need it. Contamination from 1980, like an alien cash-in, and yeah, don't know too much about it other than it being some kind of sci-fi horror, and I think this might have been on the Video Nasties list, so yeah, give that a go. Out of Bounds from 1986. We've got Anthony Michael Hall and Jenny Wright, and yeah, I think he plays a kid who is kind of like, it's like a night on the town kind of film, and yeah, I think it looks like fun. Neon Maniacs from 1986. I don't know, it just looks bonkers. I don't need to know anymore. Miami Connection from 1987. I mean, the 80s was just the decade for martial arts, and this one looks like a ton of fun. Dracula Dead and Loving It from 1995. I just found this in a thrift store last weekend for 65 cents, so I bought it. So I figured, why not stick that on the list? Oh, actually, I have seen that before. That should have been in the rewatch list. Anyway, who cares? Bad Girls from Valley High, which is from 2005, although I believe it was filmed a few years earlier, so it would technically be classed as vintage with the 20-year thing, but it got like shelved, I think, for a while. Anyway, this is an adaptation of a book I read for Old School April last year, and again, I'm blanking on the name of it, so I'm going to put it here. It's a vintage young adult book, and it was a lot of fun, and they made it into a movie, so I would like to check that out. The Ghostbusters film from several years ago, I didn't see it when it came out, and then it just completely fell off my radar. So while this is a more recent film, it was from 2016, it would still count as being like a remake or a tie-in to a vintage item, i.e. Ghostbusters. Okay, only a few more films to go. St. Elmo's Fire from 1985. This is one of those Brat Pack movies from the 80s. I've never seen it before, so maybe I'll give that a go. I have a couple of documentaries. Kid 90, which came out in 2021, and this is basically like kind of home video footage of child actress Soleil Moon Frye, and yeah, I don't know, sounds like it might be interesting. And then another documentary, Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV, which just recently came out, and I think it's on Max. So yeah, this one doesn't sound like a super fun time, but it does seem nostalgic and interesting, so I might give that a go. Okay, that's it for the films. I know there was a lot and I'm not going to get to them all. If there are any on here that you think I should prioritise, please let me know. Okay, TV shows. There are a handful of nostalgic TV shows that I would like to revisit. Again, I'm not going to be watching them all, but maybe I'll watch an episode here or there throughout the month. There was a show called Popular that I definitely remember seeing some of back in the day, and I mentioned this to my Old School April co-hosts a little while ago, but most people didn't remember it, so I don't know, but I might try and check out some episodes and revisit that because I remember it being kind of fun. A few others that you've probably definitely heard of. Erie, Indiana. I loved that show as a kid. I was obsessed with it. Buffy, of course, The X-Files, Dawson's Creek, My So-Called Life, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So a few of those are on Hulu, which I have a subscription to at the moment, so that should be easy to check out some episodes of. And then one of the books I am planning on reading is Say Cheese and Die, which is one of the Goosebumps series. And one of my lovely viewers commented on my TBR video saying I should check out the TV episode for that story once I've read the book. So I'm adding that to the list. And then I was trying to remember a bunch of like British TV shows, kind of Saturday morning TV, not like the cartoons themselves, but just the actual show that they were presented within. And then also some like adult shows that, you know, I remember watching during like my teens when I was a bit older. So I've got a big list here of things. The Big Breakfast was a like early morning show that was like huge in the 90s. And then children's show wise, we've got Going Live, Live and Kicking, Motormouth, Whack-A-Day, if anyone else remembers Timmy Mallet, oh my god. Ghost Train, which was a bit of a deep cut. I didn't even remember about this one, but when I was Googling stuff, this one came up and I was like, oh my god, I do remember that. I remember the sheep. Anyway, and SMTV, which stands for Saturday Morning, I'll have you know. I think it's going to be really fun to revisit some of those. And then I have a few of the UK like music shows. Top of the Pops is probably the most famous one on the list. That was a very long running show that would, yeah, have the music that was in the charts at the time and live performances, that kind of thing. And then that was on BBC One, and then the ITV version was the Chart Show, which I think was on like Saturdays during the daytime, whereas Top of the Pops was like an evening affair. And then there was CD UK, which was part of SMTV, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Anyway, I figured they might be fun to revisit as well. And then I have some adult shows that I would have watched when I was a bit older. So we've got TFI Friday. It was on Friday nights, of course, and it was this, yeah, kind of irreverent and funny show that was have celebrities on and have music performances and just all sorts of shenanigans. It was known for being pretty wild, and yeah, it was like must-watch TV at the time. And then The Word, which was probably like a precursor to TFI Friday, and I was probably a bit young for The Word, but I do remember it kind of peripherally, and I've definitely seen bits of it here and there, so I'd like to check some of that out. And then The Girly Show, which was like a late night presented by women show, and it was like kind of the epitome of like ladette culture, which was a very 90s thing. And then Bits, which was again a female presented show. This one was about computer games, and it was awesome. Anyway, I went on YouTube and I found a bunch of some of the entire shows. Some of them are clips, some of them are like best bits, compilations, but I've made a big YouTube playlist for myself. So yeah, I don't expect to watch everything I added in there, but I've got them there ready to go as and when I want a bit of 90s UK TV nostalgia. So that's everything on my watch list. I know it's pretty insane and I definitely don't expect to get to everything, but at least I've got plenty of awesome things to choose from throughout the month, so I definitely won't be bored. And then, even though this isn't movie or TV related, there is a video game that I want to try and get to during the month of April. It's called Harvester. It originally came out in 1996. It's a point and click game and it's supposedly incredibly violent and weird, so I obviously am very intrigued by it. I actually bought this a few years ago and I just haven't gotten around to playing it yet, so I really need to. And with it being from the 90s, I figured Old School April would be the perfect time to finally give it a go. So that was a bit of rapid fire whirlwind, I know, I just threw out a lot of names at you really, but that's the status of my watch list. A bit chaotic, but exciting. April is just over a week away at this point, which is pretty crazy. Things are getting serious, so yeah, it's time to really get excited, and I hope anyone else that is joining in with Old School April has been having fun putting together their watch lists. If there's anything super exciting that you are looking forward to either watching for the first time or looking forward to rewatching during Old School April, I would love to hear about it. I will wrap this video up for now, but thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you again in my next video. Bye!